When there is friction in leadership and when there is unresolved friction in leadership, then ministries will stall and they won't grow. One thing that will keep your children's ministry from growing is when there are political things going on within the leadership of your children's ministry. Maybe there are politics, maybe there is an elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, but there's a problem between these two leaders or between these two ministries. And when there is internal conflict, that always keeps ministries from growing. Now, you'll always have a level of conflict. You'll always have conflict of some degree, especially if you're moving and you're progressing and you're trying new things. Because wherever there's movement, there is a law in science that says that friction results. Movement always creates friction. But when there is friction in leadership, and when there is unresolved friction in leadership, then ministries will stall and they won't grow. So what you have to do is when there is conflict that happens and surfaces within the leadership of your children's ministry, you've got to make sure that you are handling that conflict biblically, humbly, and timely. Okay, you've got to make sure you're handling it biblically. There are biblical ways to handle conflict, and there are non-biblical ways to handle conflict. Right? You've got to make sure you're handling conflict humbly, in a spirit of humility, and not a spirit of pride, or I'm going to make sure I get this right. Third, you've got to make sure you're handling it timely. Deal with conflict. It's a lot easier to handle conflict when it's small than once it has snowballed and it has grown big. Another way of saying it, it's a lot easier to control a spark than it is a fire, right? So handle problems when they are small. And I really want you to have a good, healthy culture within the leaders of your children's ministry, within those department leaders or those ministry leaders, where there aren't elephants in the room and there's not awkwardness and there's not internal conflict. But you know what? We're all part of the same team. And we don't let unresolved conflict go unresolved. We deal with it because we love each other and because we're part of the same team and we want the ministry to grow.